Okay, so it's going to be a race against Forward Momentum in the group stage of Trickjump's 10th anniversary cup. And I'll give a quick rundown. It's going to be Vank, Tony, SA, Bobica, Player Ava for a race coming up against Sil, Det, Palemki, Toman, Crimson, and Anim for the Momentum team. And it's going to be Momentum on the defense first. It is their map choice, of course. And it's a very, very slow start for the Erase team. I'm just going to let the spam come down and give it a chance to clear out. They're going to rely a bit on Tony's rifling skills to open things up. He is going to get a frag on that lower area, and the kills are going to come in for the Axis team. And this is where the Allied team just needs to push into this lower area. Bobica is going to push forward. Decides to whip out a nade, and he might have the nade on towards the rifle here. He is going to be able to take down Crimson there, as that's very, very low on health. As Erase are going to start bouncing, and Team Grenade did come in, and that's a bit of a mistake there from SA. He should know better. It could have easily been a two-man grenade, though, to be fair, as he was bouncing down, and the timing was just a little bit poor. Panzer is actually in the hands of SA. I'll try and pick him up. He is actually going to get dropped. Revive will come in, and I'm going to be able to pick him up for this respawn. He is going to just dive on a grenade. He is going to be able to get that double frag just before getting killed by that grenade, and Erase are going to be able to open things up in that lower area. The next respawn has come in, but a brilliant artillery is going to be able to cover them. The Axis team on the push, and it should get a 3-man artillery kill here if they're not careful, as players going to be able to get a frag in this lower area. The respawn of Momentum is going to come in, and they have managed to clear it pretty much all out. Player's the only player alive in this lower area. I think there is one more player in the upper area. It's going to be Tony, just frustrating the middle area defense for deletes. I much prefer to call them deletes. As the frags are actually going to start coming in, as a double frag comes in for Crimson there. And they need to just set their feet right. 2 minutes off the clock. It's a reasonable start for the Momentum team. But we're going to see Erase pushing again. They have been allowed to just push into this low area. Only one man in position, and it is Man-Man. Sil's going to be able to get that double grenade as well. And Erase should just... not really... Oh, nearly a team kill coming in there. Ava manages to unwittingly escape towards the tunnel, but really piling the pressure too much on towards Momentum at the moment. They are picking up a lot of kills. Det picks up a double frag, but the team frag did come in just before the respawn for the defending team, but no advantage to be taken by Erase. They try and pick up the rifle. It's going to be Det on that rifle for the Axis team. He is going to pick up a little bit of damage on towards one of the medics up on the upper area. Nice bit of spam going on, and it's going to be the Allies actually to push into the low area, running into the crossfire of the Axis team, and well, Palemki picks up that double frag, and the revives come in as well. So really nice from Momentum. I kind of favour Erase in this matchup, just based on them beating Keyboard Warriors last week was a big result, and they need to see if they can continue that consistent results is very key, and it's something that Erase have sort of lacked in the past. Tony's been given full freedom to move around in this low area, and Erase are moving up towards the flag. I'm trying to pick up someone as Momentum are picking up a bundle of frags. It's going to be a grab by the Allied team, but Axis managed to reclaim just in time. I think one Allied player is on that middle area, going to be able to get in maybe a nade frag or a little bit of annoyance from the ledge. I'm not sure if they spotted him or if he is even there. Did I imagine it? I must have imagined it. It might have been an Axis player instead. As a nice rifle grenade comes out from Tony, just sort of that's a pre-prepared shot for the middle area. And he's going to actually risk full spawn here, and he's going to get taken down. That was a bit of a dodgy risk. Nice revive actually comes in, so he's going to be able to survive. And he's going to be key for any real chance for the Allied team to really open things up. Even if he doesn't pick up any kills, he just gets into the right position, and can be very frustrating, as you do see Momentum actually picking up loads of kills towards that upper hill area. Nice double frag comes out from Det on the respawn, and you are seeing a lot of aggression from Momentum at the moment. Det picks up 3 kills, going very aggressive, getting on a bit of damage towards one more medic on the middle area, who's actually going to be able to bounce into that lower area maybe. No, SA actually gets taken down, still stays alive in that lower area, so really nice defense setup so far. Nearly a third of the time drained off the clock, as there is an artillery down on the main road. We are going to see Panzer in the hands of SA once more, and he's not getting the boost he wants. He's not getting the boost he wants as but you see 2-3 players going quite aggressive from the Axis, making that 4. But they're going to give up quite a lot of map control, as SA is actually going to be able to get up. No problem at all. Big Panzer comes across, but it doesn't really do much, as it only takes out 1, but 2 or 3 kills coming in for the Erased team. They are going to be able to take over this lower area. Plemke needs to get that big frag in that lower area. He does actually get taken down. Just before the revive actually did come in, so not too bad, as Momentum team are going to get slightly overrun here. Erase is starting to move into this lower area, risking full spawns. 1 player is still alive in that lower area, and the truck has been pushed all the way forward, which is really nice for the Axis team. This is exactly what you want as the Axis team. And you want the truck all the way here. It's an extra thing to hide behind. It can be quite hard with the limited splash damage on the Panzer, but we do see Bobica pick up that flag. Finally, it nearly took them 6 minutes, and that is a long time here on supply. Plant is going to go down in that upper area and the lower area very soon as well. I don't think they've got a Covey. They do indeed have a Covey, so they're going to be able to put a pressure onto that CP very early, and they're actually going to meet Axis pretty much head on the crossroads, as you do see them pushing across. Strike comes out from the Axis team, and they force that out of the Axis team. That's really nice from Erase. No artillery is going to be in position, and no ammo packs being dropped as well, so ammo is going to be an issue, as you do see the next push coming across for Erase, and they are picking up a few frags. Mine's getting blown by their own team, which is not ideal, as you do see 3 or 4 players from Erase still pushing forward. No medics that's still alive, so any kills here will not be able to get picked back up. And I don't think the CP actually got built. It did indeed. It got built on the first spawn, of course. Momentum trying to push across. A couple of medics pushing in towards that CP. It's going to be a double frag coming out for Crimson, as he shuts down that push. So a little bit of respite for the defending team. They need to just set up now. Artillery is down on the road as well, so it's going to give them quite a lot of cover to push into position. Artillery frags will start coming in very soon. They are deciding to just push straight on through, and they have got a bit lucky. No frags coming in, but 3 players pushing towards that CP. Need to get a covert ops in position. 7 minutes 45 seconds left on the clock, and if they pick up that CP within the next 30 seconds or so, they would have gained some time back after that awful first stage, as they have managed to take over CP. I don't see too much aggression from the Axis team. They're only really respawning back in just now. Bobica is going to try and make his way across, and he has an artillery to dodge. It does look like it's finished blasting. He is going to finally get to CP, and Tony's in position to get that built up. So forward spawn is on lockdown for the Allied team, as the Axis are going to actually go aggressive towards it. That's grenade from Bobica. He's going to keep the suit for a while, as airstrike actually was down at CP, so that's going to slow it down a little bit. But 2 engineers managed to push on through, get that plant down at main, and Axis have got to decide whether they're going to go for that defuse or just going to give it up. And they're in a good position. This is a nice position for the Axis team, because they don't have to defuse. They don't have to defuse. They can set up on the next stage. They know they've defended the first stage for so long that they actually gave themselves a great chance, and effectively they can just, well, they're going to defuse anyway, and that's going to give themselves more time on this main stage, as there is only 6 minutes 22 seconds remaining on the clock for a race. Just to get a time on the board, double airstrike does actually come down from Toman, I believe, as the next push from a race is going to have to pick up some revives. I don't think there's too many players in position who can even get revived. Vank is going to try and get this plant down at East. Det is nearly caught out, managed to whip out that K-43, does take him down, and East has been cleared out. SA's trying to push into position. No one in from Axis going to be able to slow this plant down, and Nate's going to get propped over the top, but they're not going to be able to get any frags, and East has gone down. So reasonable, but still a lot of work to do for Maurice. Very calm from the Axis team, as you do see actually Det getting that double frag, and maybe going to go for that defuse. As you see Palemki in position, he has got the cover of 2 teammates as well. Nice defuse comes in from the Axis, and they're doing such a good job just to get these revives and defuses in. It does look like Eraser having 2 or 3 big pushes, and they're getting control, but And it happened on the first stage maybe at least 4 or 5 times where it looked like Erase had managed to take it all over in the lower stage particularly, especially in the first like 2 minutes. And then the comeback from Momentum was just to take over the lower area, and now again they managed to defuse main and east. And that's another 2.5 minutes added to the clock. We do see plants going down on east and main again, so we should see at least one of these blow. They need to just get sufficient cover down, as you do see actually 3 kills coming in. Det with that double rifle grenade. They're maybe going to push aggressive again for a defuse as the strike has come out. Det with another rifle kill comes in. He's actually going to go for that east plant, and they're going to give up main. So I think that's probably the smart choice. So it was a good decision there. As main is going to get, is going to blow very soon. Palenki did push down to try and get that defuse in, but he's going to kill out. And look at this. They're setting up inside main with 4 minutes 20 seconds on the clock, and that is perfect. That is perfect. That's 2 or 3 stages with effectively the sort of time you want on the board with only 1 stage left. They had such a good opening few stages. Although Tony is going to be able to pick up a few kills, Erase need to sort of take advantage here as Momentum are out from 4 or 5 seconds. They may be able to get into main. Nice airstrike down. It's going to be able to pick up 1. The truck is going to keep on rolling through, and this is a sort of emergency situation for Erasers. They just have to get a time, regardless. It doesn't matter how good or bad. They just have to get a time on the board, as I believe that's Anim. Picks up a double frag on that push. Crimson picking up a double frag as well from east. Make that a triple. He whips out that Luger and picks up a 3rd frag as Erase is just getting shut down at every turn. They are pushing in 1s and 2s. SA nearly makes it to the truck. He's known for his sneaks. He's so sneaky that I don't even see him sometimes, but I don't think even he could manage to sneak on through this one, as they've got so much to do in 3 minutes and 12 seconds. They've got to get the truck into position and up top, and there's a very, very confident defense in the way at the moment, as they're picking up a lot of frags as East Part is going to go down again. The push over the top is just going to try and annoy them a little bit, strike towards that east corner, and that could be big. It's actually on top of the east tower, but there's no one in position really to get taken down by that one this time, as they are on the truck. SA by himself, 4 Axis players closing in. He is going to be able to get the truck into position, but there's no engineer up top, and they pretty much need to build it within the next 45 seconds, or it's going to be set time over. They're going to get full held guaranteed. And so the next push from Erase is going to come in. I think there's 4 or 5 players respawning. Det's going to pick up a nice rifle shot, and he's going to be able to shut down 1 respawner. The revive will come in, but that's just a delay, big delay tactic from the Axis team. Nice frag comes in, but no gib, and they're not going to be able to really clear it out. And that's sort of the story for Erase. They only had 1 player pushing east. They did get the frag. No revive comes in, of course. You just need the medics in position, the basics, and that's sometimes what Erase can miss. It's just the very small things, and I think that can be down to sometimes down to just simple things like their lineup changes quite often. So you get that chemistry, it can just go out the window. Whereas all these bigger teams like the Germans, to a certain extent visual, although they have changed lineup a bit more recently, and also Russia/Rocket. These players know each other. They played with each other for so long. People know how each other plays and this sort of thing. Whereas Erase, they have a different lineup a lot of the time, and I know Bobica is fresh into the team. He is going to have to adjust a little bit, although he does add a little bit of fragging power, but still need that medic, still need that needle, as it is going to be a full hold for the Axis team on their own map choice. But this is the sort of pressure that Erase have had to deal with before. They had to deal with it against Keyboard Warriors, who on paper you would probably say are a bit more of a difficult opponent. That said, forward momentum here aren't looking too shabby. How will they test Erase on their own attack? Double full hold won't, well, I'd say it won't change too much, but Erase are very strong on radar, and you don't really want to go to radar after a full hold on supply with a double full hold. You want to get that first map regardless. You want to get at least a map on the board. The player is going to get a couple of frags near the end just to pad the stats a little bit. He's actually going to take down a teammate. some nice tracking, but obviously the wrong team. As the final seconds are going to just drain off the clock for the Axis team, and they did do a good job. That first stage 6 minutes hold was really important, and it just gave them so much freedom. They could make choices, whereas Erase had to force them out almost constantly. We are going to pick up the scores. I'm just going to check something quickly. Okay, here we go. As 37 frags coming out for Det. We saw him getting tons of double frags with the rifle grenade, 6k damage as well. And then we go across to the other team, and I don't know, his opposite number, Tony, 26 frags. It is going to be harder on attack to pick up the frags, but Tony's getting out damaged by medics and well, basically SMGs on his team, and I don't think Erase rely on Tony so much, but he can be such a huge impact player. If he can get those big frags, regardless of how good a team is defending, he can just like completely open up a stage for his team. And unfortunately, he didn't really click. He got a couple of 3-mans, but it was like just before spawn times. Like he got one on main, on the just inside main. He got a couple of 2-man rifles as well, to be fair, but he got outclassed by Det on that defense. We'll see how Det can do on attack now. And they got that 15-minute full hold. It's going to be a lot of time for the Momentum team to get things done. Very aggressive start from the Axis. SA is going to be able to pick up one frag, but the team frag comes in as well. But fortunately for him, the respawn's going to come in, so no problem. Player's going to be back on that middle area very soon. Panzer comes in. He is going to be able to pick up one frag. Erase are going to be able to reply with a couple of frags of their own. Spam coming down with Tony and Player picking up a couple of frags, as Bobika's going to whip out that MP40 as well. So nice first stage. Nice first stage, but first push hold. It can be very hard for a team to actually withstand that first hold. It's a lot of pressure. A lot of teams sort of buckle, especially the bigger teams rush it. And Ducks, you see, sometimes their most fragile moment is that very first push, when they just don't seem to be fully set up. They just seem to drop a little bit, but once they get set up, those sort of teams, it's very hard to break down. But Erase, seemingly the opposite, because they are getting broken down as the Allied team are making it into this low area. And one thing you can say about Erase is they do like to play a little bit defensively, and you can't play so defensively here on Supply. You have to have that lower area under lock. As a double frag did come in for Crimson there. He's going to be able to clear out that lower area. And this is what they relied upon against Keyboard Warriors. When they were playing Supply against Keyboard Warriors last week, they all dropped down onto the lower area at the same time. It wasn't so much a nice lower hold, it's just every time they respawn, they managed to retake it really nicely, and they did everything at the same time, and they're pretty much going to have to do the same again. But Bobika's going to drop down by himself. Teammates are going to start dropping down, but he's out for about 15-20 seconds. And they pretty much give up the lower area quite often. Or rather than give it up, they sort of get overwhelmed quite often. As you are going to see Det make moves for the flag. He is actually going to give it up. I don't think he thought he was going to get there, but Ava's going to make short work of him, as there may be a plot going down in that lower area. I saw an engineer with a dynamite in his hand. And I think it is Toman. It's actually a medic. So Det is in position. Here is the engineer. I know I saw one. Polemki. It's going to be Polemki. He has managed to drop that dynamite. He is going to plant that, arm that up for his team, as the Axis players are going to have to try and go for that defuse, but they have been distracted with the flag going into the hands of the Allies, and they aren't going to respawn at flag, so that is ideal for the attacking team. A first stage hold of around about 3 minutes is average, is sort of like the minimum, what you want as a defending team, and they've managed to do that. But it was a nice early plant from Momentum, and they're going to actually have it blow like right on the 3 minutes, and the truck is already in position, so they're going to be well geared up for this next push. Unfortunately for them, Erase are already set up. You can see the push coming over the top. A couple of players kill out for both teams. Artillery is down on the road, and this artillery is very dangerous until the upper level blows, because obviously you can't push through the upper level the cave. You can't shoot from the upper platform. But the Momentum team are actually going to be able to clear out CP a little bit. Artillery is going to do a bit of work again. There's lots of damage coming in. Tony's going to be able to pick up 2 frags, but SA and Bobica all by themselves at CP. They need that third gun support. As Bobica drops, it is pretty much game over, as Palemki's going to put on some pressure on these remaining players. He is risking fall here. He's waiting for his teammates. Artillery is going to go down. Vank's in position to help him out as Bobica just Luger out. Big artillery comes down, and how much did the race team need that? As he's going to be able to pick up 2 frags. As it's actually going to be Anim to sort of take the Bobica by surprise. He's going to respawn back in with MP40, but that defense at CP needs numbers. Double headshot comes out from Toman there, I believe, as the artillery is down on the road. Maybe one more strike is going to come down. It isn't actually, as the ally team are just going to push across the top, getting sort of mowed down by a race at the moment. Player is getting some long range shooting in. He is actually going to move forward. Airstrike came out, and this is where the Axis team just pretty much can give up this stage with that sort of play. I'm much more of a fan of the artillery spam, and look at this. You know there's not going to be any spam. They don't even need to take their time. The second the airstrike misses, they just plow over the top. And I've seen this time and time again. And I've casted ET for like the last year, and the amount of times I've seen Supply where someone throws an airstrike, it misses. I mean, it pretty much has to get a 4-man for that airstrike to be like good, like not even like amazing. Just it has to get a 4-man to stop the next push. Whereas artilleries don't have to get kills. It just has to be there. Artilleries scare people away for like 10 seconds. And with the spawn time on allied team, that's a lot of time. As plant is actually going to go down on east. SA is going to get the boost over the top. Main plant has gone down as well, as I was just talking away. But 20 seconds remaining on that dynamite. Artillery going on down on the top, and they're not going to give this up, as just about 9 minutes 11 seconds remain on the clock. This is a nice ally push, as they are going to take over the stage. Plant at main is going to blow. They're going to have to replant east, maybe west as well, as the truck is already in position to just go through main as well. So the allied team seem to be doing a good job at just, especially with truck escorting. They get into position very early. Don't want it to slow them down too much. A lot of teams can spend 30 seconds having to go back for the truck and escort it, and that can, I mean, it's not so much of a big deal considering they got a full hold, but it's nice to see that forethought. As the truck is going to start moving forward, a racer going to have to do something special. Big performance out. Nice headshots coming out from player. He is going to be able to get the gib as well. Picks up that Luger and decides to kill out, as the respawn does come in for him and his team. A bit of grouping here. That could have been a horrible Panzer shot coming in, but Bobica is going to pick up that double frag from the west side. He has actually picked up that field up now, so yeah, decided to switch up the roles. Player picking up medic, and now Bobica on field up. And he's actually going to go down for 15 or so seconds, so no real ammo or spam for the Axis team. And this is where Momentum are going to just take a bit of control, as they manage to just freely push in through that main area. See Toman pick up that double frag, as the push coming in from the remaining players is going to sort of take over the truck. Spam's going to have to be perfect from SA. It's not. He knows he's got one player to deal with at the truck. Not going to be able to get those foot shots in. As, he's going to actually just leave it to Ava, who's going to get dropped. SA as well. Man, aka Anim, is going to be able to get that truck into position. And the allies are going to have the Erase team on the back foot here, but Erase can turtle so well. You know, they can go to that up top defense, they can sit there for the entire 7 minutes and feel comfortable, whereas some teams don't feel comfortable doing that. Let's see where we got. Nice double grenade comes out from player. I don't think Tony's alive at the moment. He is not in that up top area, as you are going to see Momentum just push on through. Frags are going to have to be pretty big, as the race team are just getting torn apart. Lots of revives, and the build will start coming in for the Axis, the Allied team. Sorry, really nice from for momentum here, and that revive train, the push was so strong. It wasn't just like 1 or 2 players reviving and pushing over, it was like 3 players revive, push over the next dead player, and very constant push. No Gibbs coming in for the Axis team. One grenade would have just tore that order apart, and that's why I was looking for Tony, because if he's in that position, he's bouncing rifles off the stairs, and I think they knew he was out for full. Just take full control and just try and push up and get that build, and they managed to do that. 6 minutes remaining. This is almost game over now on Supply. It would take something quite special from a race. The truck has already moved round to the front of his corner as well, and I think Erase's best chance was to have an up-top defense really solid, but without Tony up there, they were lacking that spam fest that they kind of required, especially with that big push. The grouping there was huge, and like I said, if one rifle grenade pinged off the side, it would have been awful for the attacking team. But not to be. Nice pressure from the Allied team throughout their attack pretty much. I think the first stage they got held up for about a minute or 2 before they managed to get the plant down. They are going to be able to pick up that first map with around about a 10-minute time after full holding on their first half of the map. And the second map we're going to go to is Radar, which is going to be Erase's map choice. This is Delete, as you see him on the screen, but Forward Momentum's map choice. We're going to pick up the scores here. It's put in the fun. 24 frags for Tony. Big damage as well, 3.8k. Across to the other team, we did see Det. He struggled on the attack, so he's a very good defensive rifle, but not so great on the attack when it comes to this map. We did see Dementia, Toman, and Man, aka Anim, going pretty huge on the attack as well, opening it up, getting a couple of double frags here and there, but it was mainly the team play and team pushes that seemed to break down the Erase team, especially on that last stage. When I saw it 6 minutes left or 7 minutes left and going into that potential up-top defense, I was like, oh, well, this is still doable. Erase are one of these teams. You'll see why. Hopefully you'll see why, unless they fall apart. Erase are a team that can do a very nice turtle defense. They seem to bottle up very well and very hard to break down on maps like Gold Rush, first stage, a particular last stage, and here on Radar, you can get onto those west parts. It's very hard to break down the defense, but without the rifle, I already said this before, but without Tony in position, it was nice pushes from Momentum to really take control. I think it was just knowledge where they knew he was out, and probably someone was shouting basically, just push. The rifle's dead, push, which is really, really needed for that sort of defense. So here's going to be Radar. And like I said, this is Erase's nice. Momentum already won theirs with a full hold in a 10-minute time. Check out player pushing out towards his side area. He is going to double back. Dodges the Panzer. Airstrike's actually going to maybe take down a teammate if he's not careful. Late artillery is going to come down from Ava, so they might be able to push over the top. At least one player tried. It's going to be actually Anim to kill out. Det's going to push in towards the flag. Actually going to go toward. Yeah, he's actually going to go towards the flag as he does pick up one frag. He's got the backup of Anim. Nade comes out, nearly picks up a double. He had to back up pretty quickly. Det's going to try and put a bit of pressure on this. The Allied team are going to be able to claim the flag. Was that on the spawn time? Bobica seems to have taken it back. But regardless, it's going to be Allies to get their hands on that flag area. They won't spawn in just yet. But forward spawn is in their hands. We're going to see what the Axis team can do now. So they crossed the first stage fairly quickly, and a plant has gone down on the main entrance. So that flag will be in permanent Axis hands very soon regardless, so no big deal for the Axis team. It's just about this side defense, and I wouldn't say Erase are the best side team. They don't really rely on it, but if they can get some minutes here, it'll be very helpful, as they have actually picked up a suit towards main. Bobica picks up a big triple kill with the MP40, and you might see a cheeky defuse come out from SA. It's not going to happen, as the respawn wasn't favourable, or at least the time on the dynamite and the defenders of the dynamite being in position as well wasn't too great. So nice cover from the Allied team, and you're actually going to see Tony down for 20 seconds here, and you're probably going to see the Momentum team do the same as they did before, where they just say the rifle's down, let's go towards side, because this is the same situation as Supply. Without a rifle being here, it's really hard to hold on to CP. They haven't blown it They haven't blown it. I did not know. I thought they'd blown side already, so that's not too bad. That's a small bit of fortune for the Axis team, as the plant is only just going down for the Momentum team. So I totally missed that. I thought they'd already got that plant down with nearly 2.5 minutes gone. That is a late plant. We're actually going to see a bit of an aggressive defense here from Erase. Opening up that door with 3 people in this upper area, that could have been horrible with the rifle, and they would have all been full as well. So little push coming towards this main area. SA is going to be able to deal with one. He is going to get taken down, but the kill out comes in from Toman as well. So a lot of pressure from the Allied team, constant pressure, and they're not allowing SA to get too much control of that main area with the mines, which pretty much annihilate any push that comes towards main, which generally happens here on Radar when you're struggling to get CP. You do one big push towards main to try and rotate the entire team so that you can get CP again, but regardless, it doesn't make any difference, as Delete, aka Momentum, have actually taken over CP, but they haven't got a Covey in position. They have got Engineer just waiting. So the builder is actually going to come in. That's going to get that in. And the forward spawn is locked down for the Allied team. And that's 3.5 minutes off the clock, which isn't too bad. 12-minute time is the time to defend, of course. But that's not too bad. Erase are a team that can turtle. Like I said, they have a very solid west defense. They normally have 4 guys spawn here very early. The second they lose out on getting east, they're not even going to really go for that aggression on main, which you can see from some teams, especially teams like Rush It and Rocket. They push out through the flag a lot, and the reason you see it from these sort of teams is a lot of experience, confidence, but also because the team is so like massively talented. With those sort of teams, Rocket and Rush It are the same. It's basically the same sort of team. It's the same group of players, but they're so talented. You can risk just like not having a player on a defense for a certain period. Like Squiz, who's a brilliant player, like probably one of the best players in the game, pretty much of all time. But at the moment, he can pretty much give up his position on a defense, push in towards flag, and hold it like without shooting anyone for maybe 30 seconds, just to try and slow down east, or maybe get that cheeky return. And they can sort of afford to risk that, whereas a team like Erase needs to stick together, and they're probably more comfortable just making sure they're set up on that next stage. And like I said, their strength is how hard it is to break them down, not the annoyance in terms of their returns and so on and so forth. So
prepare to fight.
So it's down to Erase now, pretty much, on their defense. They have to continue. They haven't started too badly. They gave up CP quite quickly, but I did say that their defense isn't too reliant on that CP defense. I wouldn't even say it's too reliant on the East defense. It's a very, not strange, but I would say in the history of me playing games, it's a very, risky defense. Pretty much, having your not your best stage. That's fine for it to be your best stage, but for it to be the stage that you feel more comfortable on and you get to so often as your last stage, you lose that. It is game over. So if your best stage is your CP, for instance, say a team that has a best stage as CP as on Radar, you can set up like a pretty solid defense consistently, like 4 or 5 minutes, which is a long time on Radar. Nearly half the time. However, if that defense was to drop after a minute, you can recover and pick up a decent East defense or a decent West defense, whereas the Erase team sort of do it backwards. They don't really have the great CP defenses all that often. Their East defense can be okay, but they go full turtle mode on West, and yeah, it can be very hard to break down that sort of defense. But we'll see what happens. We did see, I think, Keyboard Warriors last week actually get a decent time on the board. Like, I think it was, I can't actually fully remember, 8 minutes, which is okay on Radar. We saw a cheeky sneak from SA, which sort of saved the day. Is this radar lagging to anybody? Look at that. Is that me? Is that normal? That looks like I'm getting 5 FPS. But I'm definitely not. I hope not. That looks so bad. So yeah, the unpause is going to come in. And I don't think we're going to have a repause. As the race players are actually going to kill out. And we'll see what sort of defense they set up here at East. There's going to be 1 or 2 players going that way. Dementia, aka Toman's going to solo run it down main. And he's going to have a lot of players from his team actually already in position. East gets taken down from behind. And he's actually going to be out for a full spawn as Bobica sort of takes him by surprise. And takes down Polemki as well. So nice nice from Bobica. As the next pushes are going to come towards CP. Det picks up a decent frag with the Thompson. He is actually going to risk full here as he bounces away towards that tank depot. He's sort of lost his positioning there. Wasn't sure of what was going on. A cheeky boost is going to come out, kind of standard here on radar, but he isn't going to go for the grab, which he really should have. Vank is in position to slow that down, and he did go for the grab, but he completely missed the radar parts. Nearly fell off the wall as well. So that was poor. That was poor from Toman. Unfortunately, he didn't manage to pick up the objective. I'm sure he'll blame lag. I'm sure. As, we have seen it a couple of times before, actually. I've seen people do it with med packs and just start strafing away in RSW. Like I've done it. I'm pretty sure I've done it myself. So it happens to the best of us. As we are going to see a race actually go quite aggressive towards the parts and set up a reasonable defense at the moment. They've already drained another minute or so off the clock, and they are just frustrating the team with momentum. As Det has been spotted going across that bridge. He has to back up again, and this is deja vu. As Det gets caught out nearly on full spawn, but manages just to survive. Backs up to Fake, and he's just going to just annoy a couple of the players at East, at least distract them so that maybe some of those teammates can push into position, and they have managed to. But a player is going to be able to pick up that revive, and again, more time drained off the clock for the Erased team. This is a nice defense from them on their East parts. Like I said, they're not really known for that amazing East parts defense. They are doing a good job just to frustrate them for a couple of minutes, and 3 minutes on. It's nearly becoming a 3-minute defense on these East parts, and that's a quarter of the time of radar on a set of parts that is generally given up the second you grab it. So all you've got to do is get your hands on it. They might try and shoot you as you're running away, but it's generally given up. So we are going to see. We are going to see. I keep forgetting. Who's that? Who's that? That's Crimson. That's Crimson. Okay, we are going to see Crimson get away as he's going to take that objective, and I don't, like I said, I don't think Erase are really the team that are going to try and put pressure on. SA did go quite aggressive towards that main area, and he has got Bobica for backup. So maybe he was thinking about going for a little bit of an annoyance on the objective holder. Really unfortunate nade comes out from Bobica. He could have picked up that frag. But the objective is going to go into the back of the truck, and just under half the time remains for the Axis team. And this is the sort of ultra defensive setup that well, it's kind of standard, the setup, but they seem to be very good at sitting and having 4 players here to get the revives in. Very hard to break down. I think it's pretty much SA playing SMG Engineer 24/7, which isn't too common. You do have players go SMG Engineer, but not 24/7 player, and he gets those mines down in really frustrating positions. So even when the allied team do break through, they get annoyed by the goldfish mine, or just mines around the back of West as well, or the trenches. So you're going to see a few frags coming in as the aggression comes towards main. He is going to give up that mine position, but he's happy, doesn't mind. As I do like to see that aggression from SA just to get some early info for his team, or just at least some early damage down, especially in that position there. You do see where Bobica's aiming. You will see a medic pretty much go over that mine all the time, and Det is very close to walking on top of that mine. I did see someone on the bridge. I think they killed out. As the push is maybe going to come around from the back of West, as they did decide to give up that back spawn. Vank decided to spawn at the back hut. He does push forward and pick up a frag as well, and this is looking good, at least for a decent time already for the Erase team. As the next push is going to come in, it's going to be Toman by himself, and this isn't how you attack on radar. Regardless, even if he picks up a 2 or 3 man here, he's going to have more players to deal with and the respawn. They need to push in a big wave, strikes, everything needs to be like a... I'd say radar attack is a very, very chess game. You have to set it up, it takes 2 or 3 big attacks, and you have to move together as a team. A bit of sacrifice, revive train. You can't really do it all by yourself. It's, you know, you get those like 1 or 2 frags in the history of ET where someone's just cleared out the entire parts and got away with it. That just doesn't happen too often. So you can't go for the frag moving moments all the time. So that is all by himself again. Pistol out. He's got 15 seconds on his spawn time. He is going to be able to pick up 2 pistol frags, and he has got Tony to deal with. Make that 3. I did say you're not going to be able to clear it out all by yourself, and he's going to be able to get away and nearly finds a mine. He is going to take a bit of damage getting away though, as he has made it all the way to the tank depot. As Tony doesn't spot him, does manage to take him down, but he should get taken down. Just returns the objective in time, as Tony is going to be able to return the objective. SA in position with the pants. He's like, you're not getting these past me. As managed to pick up that point blank shot, and the race team get another chance to set up here on this main area, on these west parts. As I think there was an artillery on top of it as well, so we have got a 3-man push coming from Fake, from the Axis team, from the Ally team, should I say? As I'm gonna watch Tony for a little bit, taking Toman a little bit by surprise. I like this sort of change up of positions. Double frag comes out from Tony. The SMG engineer won't normally be in this position. Nice triple frag from Tony, and that was very important, especially that last frag, because you can just get snuck upon from the bridge quite easily, especially if you don't see that player just sort of proned around the area. So here comes the wave of allied players. I'm going to pick up that push, as we do see 3-4 players from the allied team just pushing towards that Fake area. They need to take it over, as one player is pushing around the back of West as well. Actually gets dropped very, very quickly by Vank, and a race look very, very solid at the moment. It's going to be very difficult to break this down, and that's what I talked about with SA. All's on the SMG engineer. May not be the, you know, everyone's wouldn't probably say that SA is not the best SMG player in the game, but he's a very smart player. He can be sometimes it can be a bit detrimental towards his team, but he is going to be able to pick up 1 mine kill there, and well, that mine would have done some damage as well. As the push, maybe 1 more player coming in from the back of West. He's going to come up against players, I think that's Anim, does decide to kill out. And we have got the 1-minute warning on the clock. And this is for a full hold for a race on their map choice. So they're showing they've got the grit, the minerals, as they were full held on the momentum team's map choice, of course, which was supply. And with limited time left for the attacking team, allies need to really get their hands on that objective really quickly. And they are going to actually start pushing together as a team, but they're starting to break up. And that's what you don't need to do. Here comes a double ally push from the back of West. They are going to come up against Eva and Vank, and they're going to get shut down. And well, I don't know. Did they had 1 chance? They got their hand on the objective once, and it's just been solid erase play so far here on Radar. And kind of what I predicted was that really solid back defense. Det nearly got away with it. Tony nearly got the jukes. But he managed to return it just in time. You saw him pretty much die the second he returned it. So that was a good one. Well played to erase with the instant reply, and that's what they needed to do. When you get full held on your opponent's map choice and you go to your own map, you need to get that statement out. You need to say, you know, this is our map, and full hold them back, which they've managed to do. But now they have to set a time. Babaka still hasn't set his, you know, his RAM settings very well. It's easy. 19 frags coming out for Vank and player. 3.8k damage coming out from player, but the big damage coming out from SA. Then mine's doing the work. He's going to be able to pick up 15 frags as well. Going to the opposite team, Det with 19 frags, and he was picking up a couple of SMG frags as well as the pistols. You see that 3 pistol frag coming on towards that push when he picked up West. But when you consider that he had to get that sort of miracle frag, I know the last one was very low health, but he had to get up that sort of miracle 3-man pistol frag to even get their hands on the objective. Like, it shows how strong that defense was. Also, I think this was as much as Erase have a good defense on that last stage, the attacks weren't very good either. So very, very 1s and 2s. Radar's all about the team pushes, and you need to, like, if you think of, let's think of a team, Trickjump at the last event, and also Rush It. They used to utilize. Let's see if I can go to the back spawn quickly. They used to utilize the upper spawn. In that department, used to see like Cherry loves to come up here pretty much. Well, it doesn't. I don't think he opts to go here all the time. I think it's if they haven't managed to push through and get things done quickly, Cherry will come up here with sometimes with a medic, sometimes by himself. Telly sometimes used to come up here. I think even for visual, maybe Insane. I think Insane used to come up here as well. Or I think they used to sometimes like to have fake, like you can have the same sort of Overwatch sort of position where you just sit there and shoot a lot.
Prepare to fight.
We didn't see any of that. We didn't see any of that from the attacking team. But let's see what they got on defense. Defense is a completely different number. Still have to defend as a team. I'd say defending is easier than the attacking here on Radar. Sort of self-explanatory. You have to defend the objectives. So on and so forth. So here comes the allied team pushing forward. Push towards this side area. It looks like very aggressive airstrike comes out. They are going to push past it as well. And unless he respawned back in, and he did. That is, Merlin knows those tricks. As he did respawn back in, completely changed the angle as a double airstrike frag is going to come in, but the plant's going to come down outside. No one in position to slow SA down though, and it does look like they're going to be able to hold it off. 4 or 5 players on side for the allied team. They're just going to go quite defensive on that side area. Tony is going to be able to pick up that rifle kill. He is going to get taken down, and there's a bit of aggression. Det's going to be able to push towards the side plant as we have got SA and Ava in position. SA is going to be able to push on through. Have they built the CP? No! SA, brilliant play. We did manage to pick up the sneak this time. I was on hand. I have to be very, very aware of the SA sneak potential, as they are going to pick up that CP instantly. And now this is a big, big problem for the Momentum team. And they're a team, I wouldn't say they rely on having a CP defense, but they could be a team that it's important, especially as they lost it so quickly. They had the CP within the first minutes. The respawn's going to come in for the allied team. So forward. Look at this. They must be so confident right now. And I'd almost say that Momentum are just sort of thinking, what's the third map going to be? Because you get into this sort of position, 11 minutes to defend East and West. The main plant has gone down. They got it so quickly that main plant hadn't even gone down. They haven't even secured a flag yet. I mean, really nice from Arus. East is heavily defended. And we did see what happened last time when East was heavily defended by Keyboard Warriors. So we saw SA just push on through main and pick up West and just bounce on through. So I won't be able to pick that up again because it's all about watching the East defense. But be aware that he can be sneaky. As you can see, he isn't in a position pushing this way. So he is already setting up his sneaks on main. Already. You know it. And he hasn't died. So here he comes. He is going to make them aware of his position. It's actually going to be a 4-man push towards main, so maybe just trying to push them away from East. It can be very hard to break down the East defense, especially when there's 4 or 5 players in position. And this is actually a really nice push from Erase. They're going to push towards West. I can't see any other players in position. You're going to see a push from Anim up the back of West. He is going to get gunned down though. And it is going to be player to get his hands on the objective. He's going to try and bounce towards main. He does manage to dodge one of the grenades, but he's getting shot from fake as well. I can't see any other players in position to get that revive in. The objective has actually been picked up once again. It is going to be Vank, and he is going to get gunned down by 3 players on the main road. Kind of unfortunate. He shouldn't have peeked over the edge, but he wasn't sure. Players actually been picked back up, and he thinks the parts... He should have just picked up the parts again. No revive comes in. This could be a big 3-man kill from Polemki. He is actually going to get the revive in. The allied players. I mean, in the meantime, we are going to see Bobica maybe get away with the objective. The respawn coming in. Vank isn't going to be able to pick up the frag in time as the secure comes in, and this is really frantic. Back in like one parts and other parts. We are going to see that East parts get picked up by Vank this time. I think it's just going to give it up because when West is under pressure, you can't really concentrate too much on East, and that's a really nice push from a race to sort of force the attention of the Allied team. Of the Axis team, sorry, towards that west parts, and just sort of make them remember what the key objective is on this map. So a third of the map time already gone off the clock. SA is just clearing it out for his teammate, as the objective is almost definitely right behind him. Mines are going to be cleared as well, and Vank's going to be able to get that objective in the back of the truck. So half the job done, but I'd say the easier half, as now they have to get their hands on West, and this is where things get difficult and interesting. So I'm going to go for that boost. And, I'm not sure, they must have heard that boost, as SA is going to take some shots. And we don't see too much of a solid defense here set up by the Axis team. And SA, oh, he did actually get taken down, so that was could have been very impressive from the Erase team. They are going to pick up some more frags as Ava is going to just push on through the trenches. The objective has been picked up by Bobica, who's going to just waltz on through main. He is going to get dropped down as Vank's going to have to come forward. Ava as well. The respawn does come in with the Axis players, and these guys are just going to get mowed down. Ava with a really nice play here. He has managed to pick up the objective. He's just going to back off. SA is actually going to get taken down as well. And that was really unfortunate as the Axis are going to be able to secure that. But that was a nice idea from Ava. They would have just got destroyed if they tried to push on towards main there, but if only they had an airstrike or something to cover them as with their retreat. And there was a slight crossfire as well, as one of the Axis players was at the back spawn. So respawn coming in of Axis now. And this is where they've opted for that 4-man West defense. And this is, I'd say this is ideal. Just leave 2 on the main, sort of main spawn. We have 4 guys spawn back at the hut. The crossfire is going to be pretty mean as they're actually going to get taken down. Vank picking up 2 frags from the hut area. Nice shooting there from Dead. Does getting a lot of damage towards Ava, who actually gets taken down in the end by Anim. But quite good distractions. Race needs to just take a bit of advantage of this to force up another map. Palemki picks up a double frag at the back spawn, I believe. And half the time gone off the clock, and this is a reasonable recovery from the defending team, as it did look awful for them. It did look awful for them, losing that CP so quickly. To manage to add 5 minutes to the clock. Lemke is going to get taken down. And they were aware of his pushed up position. I'm not sure if he changed it up. And they are going to decide to respawn here at this main spawn. And Anim's going to get taken down for a very long spawn, as Ava's actually going to get caught out reviving. Reviving? Oh, that was awful. That was awful from Ava. Just need to use the wall as the cover. Whereas, I'm going to see them completely retake the back spawn, and that was a perfect opportunity for Erase. They had 3 players, and they're just not aware of their position. They could have used the wall as cover so much and avoid a lot of gunfire. As the pushes from Allied team actually going to just push on through, and now going to utilise the upper area, like I said. But 2 or 3 players from the Allied team are going to make it forward a little bit. I think they're in the back spawn. So we're going to see a little bit of a mini crossfire now going to come out from Vank and Tony in this upper area. And I think Tony's going to be telling his teammate to just back off, because he needs to get revived, not the other way around, obviously. Field ops can't revive with ammo. Not yet. They haven't added that yet. Bobica is going to be able to pick up the West objective. He is going to take a lot of shots, and it is going to be Bobica to make it away towards CP, but I think the Axis team have managed to get into position at truck, at least a couple of them. I think 2 or 3 players still sort of stuck out in main. But they're going to have a couple of Erase players to deal with. We should just push out very quickly, as SA is just going to push on through. And he has put an artillery down, a bit of a dodgy one. He could have put it down outside main here. Nice grenade comes out here. He's going to be able to take down 1, as I can't see where the objective is. SA is going to just slow them down a little bit more. 4 or 5 players grouped up in this area, and the objective still hasn't made its move. Bobica's just holding it out at flag. He wasn't 100% comfortable with pushing. And that's reasonable from Tony. Gets picked up a double frag, and the airstrike just stops the rest of the Axis team from going too aggressive. But Momentum are going to be able to retake the truck. 4 players in position. Det-Det's on the rifle as well, and he was doing some really mean shots on supply. So he has the quality to help his team out here. Do some a little bit. It does seem a little bit frantic. Obviously, it's one of the hardest stages to set up positions on. Sort of like go where someone else isn't. As we're going to see quite a few frags coming out. Sill picks up a double frag. We haven't seen too much of him, the big frags. He's not that supreme fragger, but he has his moments. And, the push coming out from a race is going to just walk into the crossfire. Vank's going to be able to pick up one, but the revive will come in on the rifle. He did go for that Gibbs, so nice attempt by Vank there. And so far, so good for the Axis team. Did they spot him? Did they spot him? I think they must have. Patterns is actually going to come out, and I think there's a long spawn for one player here. Reasonably long. Reasonably long. It was a decent choice from SA. I think he thought he got spotted, so try and just get in the frag rather than anything else. Very pushed up defense on this main area. Artillery is down at the truck somewhere. I saw a big cloud of smoke. Oh, unfortunately, it's hitting on top. It is going to finally... Oh no, that was a rifle coming from Tony, pushing in that lower area. And they have managed to clear it out. The objective is going to push on through. And we are going... Oh, the Panzer. We had the Panzer. I think that was SA though. We are going to see a deciding map. Checking out the frags. It's going to be 37 frags for Det-Det. And the majority of that he did with an SMG because they had no side defense. And imagine if they had a side defense. I mean... Just a 1 minute side defense, and you're gonna put a lot of pressure on the attacking team, and it just wasn't there. They had a reasonable east defense. Their west defense was pretty good. Everything else was pretty solid, but that side defense though. And it's not like they even had a suit, so you can't say, oh, it's just one of them things. They actually let them through. So looking across the other team, big frags coming out from everyone from the Aries team. Bobek is just lacking behind. He did crash or whatever halfway through the map, and also he was carrying the objective for the last 2 or 3 minutes. We're going to see the 6.2k damage coming out from SA. Gold Rush kicks off again. As I said, it's going to be a race on the attack. Momentum are going to set up their defense, and they're going to have a lot of freedom to do that because, like I said, they concentrate a lot on that back spawn. As you can see, half the team's already going there, and then they set up mines, and they really do try and get things done with the CP. And it doesn't look like the Axis team even care. They didn't even go for CP, so the Kobe push is a waste and the extra engineer is a waste, but you can't predict that so much as an attacking team. You can predict that they're going to maybe go with the Kobe, or go with the engineer. We haven't seen the build come in just yet. I think they actually had 3 NGs. Because I'm pretty sure Vank was an NG as well, and SA. Well, SA is a FOPS at main, so... we're already a minute in. We are seeing Tony pick up quite a few frags. But the respawn of Momentum's going to come in and sort of cancel out those rifle grenades. And like I said, we're just over a minute in, and we haven't really seen too much of an attack come up from a race. I think they picked up the CP. And this is what I said, they can be very slow on this first stage. And when it takes you a minute to really mount a big attack. I didn't even make the CP, it took them a minute and a half to make CP. And it wasn't built. And they haven't really done that big attack yet, so... If you're a race and you watch back these games, this is something you can work on. That's 10% of your time gone. You can maybe have like a 2 or 3 man main push, trying to get that sneaky tank on the main, and do the back push at the same time. So you're going to actually see 3 players push up back. Is 2 medics and a rifle, and putting some pressure onto the Axis team. Nice double headshot comes out from Sill. He is going to get taken down though. SA's artillery perfectly placed. I think they've got a bit of a luck of the roll. There's 4 players pushing up from this back area. Needs to get the revive in though. Nice revive from player. as Palemki actually picks up a double frag, but they know they're all there, and this is where the Axis team will just take control. That Crossfire sort of aimed towards that back area. Nice strike comes out from SA. Isn't going to be able to pick up any frags. I think an artillery would have been better there, because the rifle grenades of Tony would have just been popped into where Det was just standing. See someone on the defense, so you do see Dementia, aka Toman, go very aggressive towards that back area close to their own respawn. If you're an ally team and you take so long, Axis can just take advantage by just going really aggressive just before their own respawn. Pretty much how it works on any map. If you wait around for too long, and they got completely cleaned out. So 3 minutes in, the race need to get themselves going. They can be pretty good on this first stage. I think against Keyboard Warriors they took it fairly quickly in the first 3 or 4 minutes. Artillery has gone down again from SA. Respawn coming out, and he nearly got lucky with one. As the push through side, Bobika's going to be able to pick up one frag, but a couple of Momentum are going to be able to pick up them frags themselves. Revives are going to come in as well, and they have got a couple of players on back, distracting 3 players from the defending team. Maybe a couple of race players going to be able to push in through main. How did that landmine not kill this Axis player? 14 health, that was very strange. There's going to see a couple of frags coming out from Toman on back. And he's just done exactly the same thing again, where he just went ultra aggressive on his own respawn. I see 2 race frags actually with 20-second spawns for the defending team. And if Anim gets caught out here, he's going to be out for 15 as well. Toman, oh, look at that frag from Bobika. Just takes the head off of the medic there. And they've got 10 seconds. They've got 10 seconds to move in for this build. Oh, Vank gets taken down. Det manages to get that rifle grenade shot in. The respawn will come in very soon. Here comes the respawn. Nice rifle grenade from Det. That was so important. He would have had the freedom to just move across, even if he got killed on the tank. Double frag comes out from the rifle of Tony, and Erase have just managed to push the entire defending team back behind the tank, and this is sort of like fish in a barrel situation that they do not want to be in, as the Erase team are quite spammy. They have got very good spam players in terms of Tony and SA, and they will get that spam behind that tank going very, very well, as the airstrike is going to come down and it clears out the entire back of the tank. Even though it didn't get any kills, they just went in position, and somehow the Axis team are managing to survive just the non-stop spam of the Allied team. Bobika's going to be able to pick up that double frag. The build is going to come in from Vank in the end. Just over 5 minutes gone off the clock. Bobika picked up a triple frag on that push as well. So nice from the defending team so far. A third of the time off the clock. Allies really need to take control of this stage. What I said at the beginning, where if they get a fast time on that first stage, it doesn't matter too much about the second stage with the build. They need to get their hands themselves all over this stage and not allow the tank barrier to get built up. And does look like Erase are going to have a bit of control. 3 frags coming in. As Tony has got a little bit of backup here. Oh, nearly takes down the covert ops there. As there's going to be a bit of a push coming to the upper bridge area. It's going to get mowed down though. Det is going to continue getting a few frags in, and he's been doing some good work with the rifle today. He's going to get a 3rd frag actually, make that answer. The revive is going to come in just in time. Knife whipped out. Bit of a cheeky knife there, but it's not going to happen. Did he actually take full there? I'm not sure. Maybe he did. I think he might have taken full. And a couple more players for the Momentum team have been dropped down. Palemki's one of the last players alive. He does get that double frag, but the revives will probably come in, as Vank is in position to rebuild the tank once more, and the tank will be in position very soon, as Anim does manage to get the frag in, but sorry, does actually get taken down as the build comes in from Vank. This is pretty frantic, as the tank has managed to blow the bank doors open. It's just under 8 minutes remain. The Axis team just being a bit frustrating. They have managed to get on this backstage, taking about 7 or 8 minutes off the clock. CP is in the hands of the race team. And they are picking up some frags as well. RT on that first arch is going to just sort of push them towards the long way. And the respawn will start coming in for the defending team, but player is going to make it all the way to the old MG. Two Axis players will sort of stay in position. I think a revive did just come in for one of them. But you are going to see a bit of a more skirmish style defense, I believe, from the defending team, where they're not going to rely too much on crossfires. It's going to be like individual gameplay is going to play a big deal in how well they can do it. As you can see, Lemke pick up a big triple kill, but he's out for full. He's actually out for full spawn, gibbed by a teammate. Airstrike comes out from across the main arch. Oh, nice airstrike on first arch from Toman there. He does pick up that double frag, and the Gibbs come in as well. And that's going to be a lot of pressure relieved from his team. Det as well with the artillery frag. But another team frag comes in. They need to just settle. It does look like I can just imagine what their comms are like right now. It's just it seems so frantic. A lot of team kills. That's miscommunication. That's a lack of being calm when you get those sort of team kills. And Sil is actually going to hold on to a long spawn here with a Luger, just trying to hold on to this gold. As we are going to try and pick up some of the race players. Going to be pushing towards that third arch. Nice position from SA here. He's going to go for that first arch airstrike. I like this. Oh, he's actually going to go put it deep as Bobica looks to get the gold in the back of the truck. And where's the defending team? Well, that was different, as team kills do come out from a race, but they are going to get their hands on the truck, and it is going to push past that truck barrier as well. Player is going to be able to pick up a frag, as well as Tony and Bobica. The artillery is on this first arch. Somehow picks up Bobica behind the truck. I'm not sure how that happened. He's going to be able to pick up that double frag. Tony's going to just dive on top of it. He is going to pick up a third. SA is in position as well, and the truck's going to roll on. Revive will come in, and it does look like the race team are going to set around about a 10-minute time. This is pretty decent. The back defense of Momentum was awful. They didn't really set up that crossfire very well on the last stage, and I think it's just a question of styles and preparation. A race, like I've already said, the race are a team that really rely on their teamwork, and I think that the best bit about it is their players know that as well. It isn't like they have to be told. I think they realise that they have to work together as a team to really get the best performances out of themselves. This is interesting from Tony. I think he got crushed. Did he get crushed? Yes, he did. Another Gold Rush crush. So, 25 frags coming out for Bobica, and we saw a nice bit of pistol work on the back area on one of the pushes. I don't think it was the push that actually broke down the tank phase, but it was a nice regardless, as he is going to be able to pick up 4k damage. And going across to the other team, Det with the rifle for the defending team picks up 3k damage and 18 frags. He had a couple of nice moments, especially that rifle onto Vank, like pretty much added some time onto the clock for his team, because Vank just obviously had to get revived, and then the respawn came in. It was of the enemy, of the Axis, and he had to back off. So very, very close. And this first stage, I think I already said it was key, but I think we saw the race team actually get held off for around what, 4.5, 5 minutes, and then the rest of the map was 5 minutes. So like you can see how well after they got that first stage, finally the rest of the map they just collapsed on it. Now this is where the difference will be slightly in a race's favour. Their stage here is actually pretty solid, but they don't fully rely on it because their backstage is actually very solid. So the attacking team, Momentum, have to be very, very good on pretty much every stage of the map. They can't get locked down too much on this one, and we'll see what they do on this first one. I'm going to get them on the attack. I'm sort of predicting much quicker first attack from them. As Bobica's going to go quite aggressive down the back area. It does actually get taken out. And there we go. He didn't have any idea that they'd have a double, 2 more players on that back area. As Ava is going to be able to get in that revive. And this actually could be bad for the Axis team if they get overrun here, as they were on a long spawn. Nice grenade comes over, nearly the Gib as well. And this is the defense from a race. They have 3 players on this back area. Very, very uncommon. And they have 3 players behind the tank. That isn't actually so uncommon. Some teams do fall back to that sort of position, but this is their setup. And as you can see, complete side give up. And look, the team, they're even killing themselves. They're killing each other because they expect the teammates to be, the enemy to be there, and they're spamming their own team because they don't see kills coming up in the kill feed, and they assume they're going to be in these sort of positions. So we'll check some of the defending team. I'm going to pick up Tony. And the reason they give up side and then they just start spamming is because Tony and SA very, very good spam players. I did speak a little bit to SA on how this defense works, and it's interesting. It's nice to see that. You know, a team knows their own strengths. You know, when you watch a team like Visual or like the old Visual, you never see this sort of defense out of them, or they relied a bit more on their aggressive gameplay for their attacks. Like I remember watching them on Bremen, and it's just like it was rapid how quickly they could take stages. So when a race comes up against a team like that, they've got to think of a style that will be able to deal with that. As the Momentum team have taken all over side, they are actually starting to push across the middle, but Mines are in position, and the revive has come in. Maybe Det's going to be able to get this build in. I don't see any Axis players picking that frag up. Erase are going to be able to pick up 4 frags very quickly. Player with double grenade, and the Mines are going to do the work on the Gibbs as well. But this tank must be literally a small tap away from being built, and you're going to see a big push coming at main, surely. And SA knows it. He's set up the Mines on main already. And we'll see what they can do. Is the grenade's going to come out. Cheeky from SA. He is going to be able to pick up 1 mine kill, make that 2. As I think that was Det getting killed twice. I'm not sure. As again, the side push is going to come in. 3 minutes nearly drained off the clock already, and frag comes in from SA. So I think the tank has reset now. Otherwise, I think that would have been a build. As we do have Lemke by this tree area. I'm not sure if this is this a little hole in the defense, because they probably wouldn't spam there. We are going to actually just see him walk across the top. Player manages to take him down just in time. I actually have got Vank pushed up a little bit. They go a little bit aggressive on their spawn time. As SA is going to try and get some more mines down into position. But this is very frustrating to play against, because you know, this team, both teams probably think they're better than their opponent. They both think they can beat their opponent. And when a team plays against you and does something not to standard, it can frustrate you. It can frustrate you. And look at there's just the spam. It's so much spam, and this guy Turman in this position is not going to last very long. He's got the rifle to deal with. Any second there's going to be rifles pinging across, because he doesn't even have to look. It's just so much spam. SA is going to get the grenade frag in as well. But Tony doesn't even have to look. He knows that they're going to be in this sort of area. He'll get a rough call and he'll just shoot. He'll just shoot it side. He'll shoot. There we go. Got a rough call. Easy. So this is very nice from Erase. This is very nice for Erase. 3 players set up on back as well, and I have said about this, it can be very hard to break this down, but they have managed to get the revive in, have they? Oh, they didn't get the Gib in, and that is going to be the tank in the hands of the other team, and they need to just roll them. They need to roll them how they got rolled, pretty much. They can't let them set up the barrier. I'm not sure how the Axis players are in position. Oh, they are starting to build the barrier already. Oh, it's going to be SA. Is going to go that. The Mad Sneaks. I think he is. They must know he's here. Oh, try to just get a twist on it, just to get a bit more charge in. But I think you'll see them give up that stage more than anything, just because they know they can hold the backstage for 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And the landmines from that first push from the ally team now doing the work, and the spam is just getting used against them now as Eraser getting held in spawn a little bit. Trying to push out. They have got a 10-second spawn time. They just need to make sure it's all cleared out for that next push. And the attacking team Momentum doing a really good job at not allowing the Axis team to set up a defense on that barrier. And they're all over the third arch. Nice rifle comes in. Det could have picked up a 2 or 3 man frag there. 5 players from the defending team. Nice triple headshot. And him just drops Tony. And Tony's out for 20 seconds. He's going to push on towards that second arch, sorry. Players in position required a revive, but a lot of control from the defending team now. You do realise that there's a couple of players behind the bank. Let's see if Bank can deal with that. Palemki's going to get that frag in. He's still in position. He'll get shut down, surely. Ava's going to push into position, so... 3 minutes 45 seconds. This is going to be pretty difficult for the attacking team. And they have to have a really solid attack. But they haven't allowed Erase to actually get set up at this third arch. So really nice work from them. They are going to be able to get their hands on the objective as well. But Sil's only got a pistol, and I think he's pretty much all alone. He is going to be able to pick up another frag. He's opting to go for the frag rather than run. He probably could have just run out of main. But he almost definitely would have run into some trouble. But who knows? Who knows? You can't. I don't think going for the frag against two people with a pistol, you have to pick up some Mouse-esque aim there. And... even Mouse isn't going to hit those every time, so... Tony picking up a double frag from that first arch. He's going to sort of relieve the pressure for his team a little bit, but they should get their hands on the objective, as I do see two players in the bank. It's going to be Anim and Crimson. Sorry, Crimson and Toman. So the fake knickers. As it's going to be Toman with the objective. He is on the pistol. This is a worry, as I don't think they've got a field ops on the attack, and you wouldn't normally have a field ops dishing out ammo anyway, but a nice grenade. Nearly picks up two. He is going to have one more player to deal with. Oh, he nearly returned the favour. Bobica taking down Toman in the first half of this map with a pistol with nice shooting. Nearly gets dropped himself, but Bobica manages to finish off that frag and secure the objective. 2 minutes 20 seconds on the clock. 4-player push from the Allied team coming out of off the bridge. They have got a strike to deal with in the courtyard. Nearly could have picked up a big frag, but got kind of unfortunate. As the Allied team, this is pretty much one of their last chances. This is it. This is one of the last chances for the Allied push. They are going a little bit one at a time again. We saw this on radar. It can be an issue. As Vank is in position, he didn't pick up the second gib here. He is actually going to be out for 20 seconds, so he needs to be very careful. It's going to be Palemki to get his hands on the objective.
Objective taken.
He has got Crimson for support, but Crimson decided to kill out, and no gib's going to come in. Rifle grenade of Det, I believe, came in from the bridge, and it is going to be a secure with 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock. I'm not sure. Is the barrier still built? The barrier has been destroyed, so I think they've got one more decent push. I think it might be over very soon. I think it's like around about a minute for the truck to move the entire way. Comes the push across the top. Nice frag comes out. Player picking up a big two-man, and it's just, even if it's not that amazing, it's just slowing down a defending team. As me in this position, I've definitely put down an artillery. I'm all about the artilleries. But I think they've done enough. Erase looked really solid on their attack after their first stage, and their defense on that first stage looked really solid as well. But they had their opportunities. Momentum had their hands on the objective a couple of times. And the Race have done it again. They did it against Keyboard Warriors last week. And they're going to pick up another 4-2 victory after losing the first map. That shows some real grit and determination. And, not to tilt as a team and let it get to you. I think, without trying to have a dig at a Race too much, they are used to losing a map early on. And some teams aren't used to losing maps. And that's they're a big team. They've got big players, but they are used to losing maps and having to come back. So it doesn't get to them so much. Whereas other teams, they can fall apart after losing the first map. I'd say all the big teams, the top 5-6 teams from the last LAN event, are all teams that can come back from losing a map. I'd say out of those teams, maybe the team that can struggle the most is maybe only against those other teams, maybe Trickjump. That would be the only one I'd say. But that's going to be the end of the game. We're going to see the frags. 27 coming out from player. He had a nice little spree near the end, going the opposite side. Sil picking up 17 as well as Anim as well. And the big damage coming out, 4.4k damage for player. And we see 2.565 coming out for Palemki. We had a pretty solid game and only got 10 frags, so it was unfortunate for him, but I'm going to update the scores on the main screen. That was a 4-2 victory for Erase, and they came back from a 2-0 deficit, or 0-2 deficit, to manage to get that win in.